Psalm 139:5, You have enclosed me behind and before and laid your hand upon me. One who finds the way blocked up turns back, but David has found himself hedged in behind as well as in front. He is hemmed in. God was in every direction. There is a transition implied here from the omniscience of God to that of his omnipresence. The clear text appears to be an indifferent transition from God's omniscience to his omnipresence, out of which the scriptures represent it as arising. Behind and before, that is on all sides. The idea of above and below is suggested by the last clause. The reality of God's presence was so strong that David felt trapped by his thoughts, unable to escape in any direction. There was no way for him to escape from the Lord's surveillance, as he could sense the hand of the Lord upon him, holding him within the boundaries of God's will, guarding him against an unbridled use of freedom. His consciousness of God's presence tends to act as a curb against an undue assertion of what unredeemed men will claim as their worldly rights. This conviction causes David to cry out. Behind him, God is recording his sins, as well as God's grace blotting out the remembrance of them. When we find ourselves in perceived bondage, we must remember that God is omniscient and foreknowing all our deeds, providing for all our wants. The prisoner marches along surrounded by a guard and gripped by an officer. God is very near, we are wholly in his power, from that power, there is no escape. It is not that God's will overwhelms, but as a gigantic rock, his will is unmovable. Shall we not say that our Heavenly Father has folded his arms around us and caressed us with his hand? It is just so with those who are in his faith. If we have received the propitiation of Christ and a new nature from his indwelling Spirit, we are the children of the Most High.